Yeah. I see you. Oops, I'm on. Okay. Mute it real quick. Thank you.
Am I on? Yes. Yeah. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We begin our service this evening by declaring how good it is for people to live together in unity. Hine ma tov. Hine ma tov, umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. With me. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
You know, Kenner Whitner doesn't even get applause. You should know that. Okay. In case you're wondering, he's still on vacation. Okay. The top of page 124, 124, we read together. We enter the sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout a long history and our relentless wandering, it has endured. A beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors alive to righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, that these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. We turn to page 120 as we invite Janet Wertheimer to the bima as she lights our Shabbat candles.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to sing it after you say it. Yeah. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
For those who are able, we rise together for Kiddush 124.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah le'mikra'ei kodesh zeher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'achata ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodsheha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
The top of page 127 as we read together. There are days we seek things for ourselves or measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if our horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days we act we care nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We turn to page 130 with Psalm 95.
Lehu neranana l'Adonai nari aletu yishenu. Lehu neranana l'Adonai nari aletu yishenu nekad mafanav betorah bizmirot nari alo ki egadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher yaro mechkerei haaretz v'toavot harim lo asher lo hayam v'hu asahu v'yabeshet yadav yatzaru ki hu Eloheinu v'anachnu amarito v'tzon yado.
The pinnacle of Kabbalat Shabbat, Lechado D 138.
Lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat lekabela. Shamo v'zacho beribur echad hishmianu אל המיוחד אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונחכים מחור, הברכה מראש מקדם, נשוא הסוף מעשה במחשבת תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך, קומי אורי, 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 שידברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
For those who are able, we greet Shabbat HaMalkah.
בואי ושלום, עטרת מלאכם בשמחה, ובצולתוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי הלה, בואי הלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
The bottom of page 145. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Bless my day be today as the one before. Lest routine set my ways. We stay right there, 144, with our Chetzi Kaddish.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה, אמן. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחייכו בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבם מברך, לעלל מולל מהמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו נעלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה בנחמתה דמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
We rise 146.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch hu Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
The top of page 149, we read together. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hamariv aravim. On the next page.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismar b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem negeh yomam v'layla. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto le'olam ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
The top of page 157, we continue together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land. The winding to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Our song of freedom and redemption, our Mi Chamocha 158.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך רובנך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, la 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 la.
Together at the top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we might lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Our Hashkivenu 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu L'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guard us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Lechaim. Lechaim.
The top of page 163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru 162.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berith olam beni uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam leolam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz u'vayom hashvi shavat vayinafash.
The middle of page 165. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise together for our tefillah 166.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחלחל חיים בחסד, נחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומחיים אמונתו נשעני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה המתים, אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We read together the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We turn to the next page with our Ritzeh.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ava tekabel u'tehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha Karov lechol koroav penei avadecha v'chanenu shefoch ruchacha alenu v'techezena einenu b'shuvecha leTzion berachamim. Baruch atah Adonai המחזיר שכינתו לציון.
Top of page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make a temperate reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabba אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, וטוב בין עיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובחושה בשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
We take a few moments for silent prayer.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו ואמרו
On this Shabbat, we think of those in our community, those especially who are in need of healing of body or spirit. The Temple Emanu-El community thinks of Barbara Edelman, Linda Applebaum, Sophia Berry, Katie Bates, Donna Berman, Chaim Betran, Harold Seitlin, Deborah Shergois, Eliyahu Mezrachi Ben Chava, Ivy Chin, Orit Cohen, Martha Ann Eisenberg, Brenda Friedman, Jerry Fields, Marilyn Garber, Edward Goldberg, Howard Goldberg, Jeffrey Goldman, Sandra Goldman, Miriam Goldstein, Josie Hatfield, Ben Hazen, Evelyn Held, Donald Himmel, Corey Kessler, Sharon Lahan, Zayn Manlik, Mark Petrosky, Malka Bat Rachel, Cindy Routman, Jim Sag, Susie Schumann, David Siegel, Leslie Simon, Pam Huff Simpson, Laurel Smith, Chrissy St. Charles, Don St. Charles, Brenda Weinstein, Jessica Weisberg, and Lisa Whitehead. For those who are with us tonight, if you're thinking of a loved one, a friend, someone who means so much to you, and you wish to share that name out loud, we invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. For those names mentioned out loud and for those names that are still in our hearts, our prayer for healing are Misha Berach, middle of page 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
They teach us in rabbinical school that your best friend in the field will be your funeral director. It's said individual who will make your job easier navigating the complexities of the funeral. This is a true statement, and I don't know if Heath or Keith at John Rideout's or Charlie, if they ever watch, but they're fantastic. Peter Krantz in San Diego at Am Yisrael. When you get a good funeral director, they really can teach you a lot. It's true. But there's something else that they don't teach you in rabbinical school, and they should. Sometimes the best person or the best mentor, a friend for a young rabbi in the field or a seasoned rabbi, it's not so much with the lay leadership, maybe the senior rabbi or merita or meritus rabbi, maybe the educator, but for me, it's always been the musical director. Paul, we got to talk about you in January, last December, so don't worry. Jeff, you've been here a year. It's wonderful, but you got to earn it. You're not Paul yet, but you're getting close. But it is true. My first week in San Diego, you're probably thinking, how terrible could that be? It's overrated. Rachel was in her fourth year of residency. North County was a lot different than Los Angeles. Those who know North County, San Diego, I was uncertain, I was lonely. My mentor was on a trip in Israel. There's one person who made my life so much better. My musical director in San Diego, Tommy Lawrence. Michigan native, makes me proud, served our country in the Navy, Wayne State University, which is in the city of Detroit. He was the best. We had many nicknames for him. My favorite was Tommy Salami. But every time he came in, you could hear the excitement coming out of him. And like Paul, he was at Temple Emanu-El for nearly 30 years. And like Paul, trained in the classics of so many musical traditions. And like Paul, he wasn't Jewish, but deep down in that neshama, deep down in that soul, he was Jewish. I always told my cantor, Billy Type, he liked me better because I gave him more compliments. But Tommy was amazing. He knew all the service. He knew how to calm things down. He knew when we had a cantor being a little bit on the diva side to calm him down a tad, but he was the best. And when Rachel and I, when we got married, proudly in the city of Detroit, we invited all of the staff at Temple Emanu-El to come celebrate in the Simcha. Tommy came with his husband Ken, and they lost their luggage. But I remember that would not deter them from celebrating bride and groom under the chuppah. They went to a tuxedo rental. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Dumb and Dumber, but that was the only thing left. The worst orange cummerbund I think I've ever seen. But they stayed the entire night. And as Rachel and I were talking about this, and we were looking at the photos, it was amazing that Tommy and Ken came, and they rented tuxedos. They found tuxedos in a Saturday afternoon in Detroit, okay? Think about that. And we started noticing later on that Tommy started to forget things. He wasn't just missing notes. And like so many of us, the horrible curse of dementia finally came to him. We had a great celebration, just like we did for Paul, just like in San Diego. I remember we had the purple lights. We made it top notch. It was his final party. That's what I wanted for you. And through the years, he would call me, and he was lucid, and call me and say, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble. He'd go, hey, hot stuff, and I used to love it. I always told Billy, again, he'd like me much better. He always asked about Rachel, the kids. He loved my mother. The most engaging person. Tommy Lawrence. Sent me pictures of his grandchildren, what he was doing, all the trips they traveled the world. And he was doing okay. But then yesterday, we found out that Tommy passed away. The first great mentor in my life in the field left behind such a wonderful family. And so when I think about everyone who has helped guide me and teach me, it's the people like Tommy, it's the people like Paul, and it will be Jeff. You already are. You haven't sold me on pugs yet, but nevertheless, they matter. And they matter for Jewish life where we find ourselves. And then I think about all of us. Again, as I mentioned it last week, we think of our long shloshim list, the people who have recently passed away. We have 2 funerals, one on Sunday and one on Monday. We think about the horrific storms on Thursday, mudslides in California. And I think about those who are here in attendance, remembering a loved one, a yort site. They always say rabbis are supposed to have all the right words. I don't know if that's true. It's not true. So when we get to our Torah portion, Parshat Shemot, it's a chronicle of all the people who were descendants of Jacob. And our rabbis recognize that it's kind of a strange way to begin the story about a foreign pharaoh. And let's get to the point, makes for a better story. It's an odd chronicle of our ancestors. And like last week's message, the rabbis were puzzled why the Torah portions there wasn't that clean break. They were still confused why the book of Shemot. Why would we list all of our descendants? I know we're not supposed to believe in things are meant to be. Maimonides rejects this. But sometimes the Torah has a way of speaking to us when we need it the most. So here's Rashi, the brilliance of Rashi, citing a credible midrash. And Rashi wants us to know that the reason why we begin the book of Exodus, Parshat Shemot, with these chronicles, because we mention our ancestors in their lifetimes, and they are repeated here as they pass from the book of Genesis to the book of Exodus. And this repetition, this opening scene, is a representation when some things are incredibly important to God, we remember names. And this midrash uses such an incredible text. Back to the book of Isaiah. They are linked into the stars, which God brings out, and he brings in number and by name. God counts all of these stars, and when they come out again, when they see them shine, they're sparkle, they're reunited, and this is what precious means to God. It's the people we loved who are no longer here. And normally, I would not want to do 2 sermons in a row about the troubling world in which we live in, or speak to the reminders of a non-Shabbat day. But with Tommy passing away, the might of life cycles that this congregation has experienced, and I look out and I see people in the pews who are here to remember someone who passed away 11 years ago, 2 years ago. So sometimes before we read the conclusion, before we read the Kaddish, there's a beautiful prayer, Yesh Kochavim. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with the people that we loved. The memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Our names are not listed in the Chronicles in the book of Exodus, but we have these names. They're written on a pulpit folder. They're written in a headstone. These names are written down in books that we had, photos that we have. These names are remembered when we think of a dish, a joke. Sometimes it's an okay reminder, and sometimes it's like a big swell that hits us the most when we don't want it. All these people that we're here for, those who pass away, they're all stars. So to Tommy, to all of our loved ones, to those who have suffered from the tragic weather, tonight you are our chronicles. It's your names that will sparkle in the sky, in which God will ensure his preciousness reaches to them. May Tommy Lawrence, a blessed memory, may his memory forever be a blessing. We rise together for our Lanu 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
On this Shabbat, we recall the stars up in the heavens, the Yortzites, Jeanette Ayland, Leslie Allen, David S. Alper, Irving Burchuk, Max Black, Sylvia Goldstein-Bremen, Charles Brenner, Bernard M. Buxbaum, David A. Callahan, Sherwood Woody Cohen, Jan Joseph Coughlin, Harry Diamond, Louis Dorfman, Craig W. Dube, Tilly Goodman Engel, Sarah Erdberg, Shirley Diskin-Friedman, Robert B. Garber, Margaret Greengold, Dr. Nathan Ginsberg, Arthur Goldstein, Taylor Goodman, Nathan Greenberg, Lois Oppenheimer Hertz Sr., Seymour Hoffman, Sophie Copeland Jacobson, John Stephen Kaplan, Adolph Katz, Samuel E. Clafter, Melvin L. Clafter, Judith Ladinsky, June Land, Hyman Leader, Aileen Leva, Joseph A. Levinson, Jacob Milton Levy, Caroline Louis Marks, Morris Lux, Ida Lukes May, Bernard Mendelson, Anita Joyce Mashad, Leonard Joel Morris, Mayor Ullman Newfield, Richard Osband, Ken Pearsman, Edith Prince, Joseph L. Rubin, Rachel Rosenthal, Anne Regensburg Roth, Mary Ida Schenker, Gerald A. Simon, Dora Sisson, Lee Slaughter, Raymond Lloyd Snow, Nathan Solomon, Pauline A. Spielberger, Lazarus Weinstein, and our heartfelt condolences in Shoshim, the recent passings of Robert Norman Bloomston, father of Brett Bloomston, Linda Lassen Cohn, mother of Marty, Michael, and Danielle, aunt of Brett Bloomston, Anita Fine, sister of Gary Cutter, Sam Elliott, friend of Ariana Coyne, Larry Hameson, brother of Carol Pizitz, Neil Morris, husband of Rosalind, brother of Alan Morris. Howard Simon, father of David Simon, grandfather of Ross and Evan Simon. Liz Slive, mother of Anna Harwood Slive and grandmother of Abigail Slive Harwood. And Gloria Lee Solomon, mother of Robert Solomon. May these memories not only endure, but may they continue to shine in the heavens. Our Martyrs' Kaddish, we rise as united congregation, 598. Yikadal v'ikada shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach reotei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yom echon, uv'chayet v'kol beit Yisrael, b'gala u'izman kari v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam alamei almaya. Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shmei dekutsha. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiram yalma v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav. Huya say shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen.
Osei shalom b'imromav. Huya say shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen.
We conclude our Shabbat service. It would always be interesting if we translated the name of the song into English. Master of the World, Adon Olam. I thought it was a lot funnier.
Adon olam Hashem alach, v'terem kol yetzir nivra, ve'et nasa v'chevto kol, azay melech shemo nikra, ve'acharei kichlot hakol, levado yimloch nora, ve'hu haya והוא הווה, והוא יהיה לתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכלילה, ולי ראשית ולי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצוחב לי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו אבקיד רוחי, בעת אישן ואירה, באמרוכי גבייתי, אדוני לי ולא אירה.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos. Shabbos. See you in the morning.
Don't go yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
All right. Bye.
cool. It surprised me, being up here. I didn't know who was going to be the canner tonight.
All of a sudden,
Yeah,
there
so
he
cool.
is, huh?
It's Mary's mom's yurt site tonight,
I see.
actually. So, yeah, so it worked